Good morning, everyone.
Hello there.
Last week we've started with the first half of a set of talks about getting older as elders. In other words, not just getting older, but aging with wisdom and grow into elderhood, where there's such a lot that we can contribute to society and in people's lives. And we've touched on a few aspects of that, few things that we can build in that can help with that process. Having a good practice, a faith practice that helps to ground us, outgrowing first half of life issues where we don't get stuck in trying to building a container that contains our ego issues and all of that. What were the other
We
things?
talked about the role of suffering and the transformation that can lead to, and the growth.
And leading actually into letting go of control.
And then, the more we, and I mean, I think often life teaches us that often and especially in difficult times that we realize we are not in control, and that letting go of control and being willing to let go of control also is a big factor in gaining wisdom, and realizing that you are not a superhero, that you are not able to handle everything.
So we've touched on a few of those points or matters, and now we want to look at about three others, and saying that not at all are we conveying the message that what we are naming here or listing, that is the complete list.
No, for sure not.
It can be that you've discovered after retirement that this aspect has helped you in growing into wisdom, or opened up new opportunities for you or whatever, and we would like to hear about that. So our list is the basics, and it's always interesting to find the more nuanced applications of these issues or new ones.
I think one of the big things that it's also, I think, in living life and getting older is the concept of in our younger life we tend to be very dualistic in our thinking. In
either or.
Yeah, white, black, right, wrong, in, out, and there's very little allowance for something in between. It actually doesn't exist. But the more you live life and the more you realize that things are not always so easily distinguishable between just two poles, and you learn the nuances, you learn that there's gray, you learn that things are not necessarily just right or just wrong, and those perspectives and growing in those perspectives is a big leap into wisdom, into something that we can convey to others, and an openness to other perspectives. Because if you are so rigid, and you do get senior people, old people, really elderly people that are so rigid in what they believe, that are actually so scared to open up to anything new. And I think that to live life with inquisitiveness, to be open to learn from anybody, from anything. Often we can only laugh and we can only realize that we're learning from our granddaughter. That we can learn from animals, we can learn from young people. Things are changing. It's not just what science is learning, it's the complete, we will never know everything, and we need to have that openness to learning. That will then also help with those extremely rigid boundaries that we set.
Yeah, yeah. Because often in old age, unfortunately, you find people who say, well, that's how we did it in old age. And they're very almost nostalgic
Yeah, and
about
that,
how things. And I mean, there are lovely things
and
from
it's, yeah,
history and
it's,
so on.
yeah.
That we're not downplaying that, but a rigid stance towards life, that is the way it actually should be done. We're not open for anything new.
Yeah.
Whether it's other cultures, whether it's other religions, whether it's other age groups or whatever, we set in our way.
Yeah.
And I think if we grow old also with a good faith practice in place, we also grow old from a place of safety. And where we don't have to protect ourselves constantly and to convince other people of our worth.
And sort of protect our perspective, that's the only perspective.
Yeah.
I think it also has to do with embracing not knowing.
Yes.
Embracing not having all the answers.
Yeah.
We sort of think that our worth is vested in having all the answers.
Yeah.
And it's just not true, because we cannot know. Often there's if we talk about God, it's always a mystery.
Yeah.
If we talk about the future, it's a mystery. And to be able to be comfortable, or as comfortable as possible with that, helps you to take on the often difficult older years, mature years. Yeah, and then I think mainly we are usually so busy with our lives until we retire, so we don't often have time to donate our time, our efforts to other projects. But I think wise with the elder, you often see that they invest in their community, that they invest in projects. We often see it here in Wakkerstroom with all sorts of movements and societies looking after animals and cultural society,
knitting projects,
environmental awareness and addressing that. So, and that's a time where you can actually, and you have the knowledge by that time, I think also, and you know what's really important for you. So to then have the time, and it doesn't need to be a huge thing.
No.
You don't need to start a new movement.
Yeah.
Often it's just meaning something for one other person. You may be living in an old age retirement village, and your neighbors are very lonely. Their kids are far overseas, or so it can be very close to home, where your service can be needed. But to be open to that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be sensitive as to what are your interests, what are your loves, and it can stem from that.
And you have a lot of passion and knowledge from those interests, and that you've probably throughout your life have gained. And that can now mean so much to other people. Yeah.
And then another point is the spirituality in old age. It has a certain roundedness. It's almost like a stone in a riverbed that is round and smooth.
There's a depth and a solidity, almost a groundedness in elderhood, where the fears, the insecurities, I think that the image of God has developed over time, and you can actually feel that peace that these people are exuding almost. It comes from them.
And I mean, they talk about their relationship with God, the ups and the downs, the disappointments, the pleasures. They talk from experience, and in that sense, they can be such good mentors to young people who have their own struggles and questions, and this weight of experience
Yes.
can be hugely influential
Yeah.
in young people's lives.
Yeah.
So it's not just talking the talk, but walking the walk as well.
Yeah, and having examples like that, grandparents, it is so valuable to have that.
And then talking of experience and the wisdom, we've touched in the Afrikaans recording as well the wisdom of our bodies.
Yes, because we are often, especially in the first half of life, totally authoritarian about our bodies. Our bodies has to serve us. It has to do what we want it to do. We push it. We don't listen to it. And as we grow older, we have no choice. We find that our bodies are actually telling us something. And I think the sooner we learn the dialect of the body and can and work with that, the more we can move into elderhood with bodily wisdom, that natural, almost a primal biology that is very wise and that can teach us so much about ourselves and what we really need, what we should be doing to be healthy, to be mentally healthy. So I think that's a very important point.
And it's almost ironic. It's us as older people sitting at the feet of this mentor, which is our bodies.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and not to ignore that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would love to hear from you. I'm sure there's a lot more. And we're having, this weekend, we're having our contemplative gathering as part of our service to widen the interest, widen knowledge about contemplative spirituality. So we hope to see some of you there.
Yeah, thank you. And then we'll talk again next week.
Keep well, everyone.
Bye-bye.